Ever misread someone's joke and ended up starting a fight? Or maybe someone made a comment and you instantly took it personally. Ever snapped at someone and regretted it immediately? When these incidents form a baseline for your behavior, it can mean your emotional intelligence is underdeveloped. But don't freak out. Being low EQ doesn't mean you're a terrible person. It just means your emotional navigation system is glitchy. I'm Gabriella, therapist in training, sharing my grad school journey to engage, empower, and educate. The good news is, once you spot your own glitchy patterns, you can start rewiring how you respond. So let's talk about the 7 signs you might have emotional blind spots. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's jump in. Dear future therapist, I'm Gabriella and welcome to my YouTube channel. Sign number 1, you react without reflecting. This isn't just, I said something mean. It's a pattern where your emotional impulses take the wheel. Snapping at a friend over a minor thing, over apologizing to avoid conflict, or saying something passive aggressive without realizing it. People with low EQ often respond before fully understanding their own feelings or the context, which creates cycles of tension and regret. The key difference with high EQ, pausing, even for a few seconds, to name your emotions or consider the other person's perspective. Sign number 2, you have trouble recognizing and naming your emotions. It's common to feel overwhelmed, anxious, frustrated, or empty, but only describe it vaguely as stressed or fine. I'm fine. It's fine. Totally fine. So in high school, I had these sex ed teachers who described saying I'm fine as an acronym for I'm frustrated, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Except instead of saying frustrated, they used my favorite 4-letter word, which I think was their way of relating to teenage girls. But I've also heard another acronym for fine, which is feelings in need of expression, which is probably a more accurate description, but I kind of prefer the R-rated version. Anyways, I always love that little acronym, because to this day, whenever anybody says I'm fine, I call bullshit. Low emotional intelligence often looks like this. You know something is off internally, but you can't quite articulate it. So it comes out indirectly, snapping, zoning out, or overreacting later. People with a higher EQ can differentiate between sadness, guilt, embarrassment, or disappointment, and understanding that the differences between each of these feelings guides their behavior. Sign number 3. You struggle to read emotional cues in others. This goes beyond missing sarcasm or subtle signals. It's patterns like failing to notice that a friend is withdrawing until they suddenly explode, or misinterpreting calmness as disinterest. Low EQ individuals often project their own assumptions onto others, rather than observing what's actually happening. The subtle skill in high EQ is noticing microexpressions, tone shifts, and body language, and responding in a way that fits the emotional context. Sign number 4, you take things personally. We've all been there, but I'm not talking about getting defensive once or twice. It's more like consistently interpreting others' actions as personal attacks. Maybe your boss is stressed, but you assume they're criticizing you. Maybe a friend cancels plans and you spiral into self-blame. This over-identification with external events creates unnecessary emotional volatility. High EQ people can separate their self-worth from others' actions, allowing for more objective and composed responses. Sign number 5, you struggle with boundaries. This isn't just, I can't say no. Low EQ often shows up as either 1, repeatedly ignoring your own needs to please others, or 2, failing to respect others' needs and limits. Both can create tension and resentment. Emotional intelligence involves knowing where you end, where others begin, and navigating that space with clarity and respect. Sign number 6, you respond poorly to feedback or criticism. Criticism doesn't just sting. It triggers defensiveness, avoidance, or even aggression. Low EQ individuals often perceive feedback as a reflection of personal failure rather than useful information. High EQ people still feel the discomfort of critique, but they can separate their self-worth from the input. That part is key. Reflect and use it constructively. Sign number 7, empathy feels difficult or forced. By this, I mean you struggle to step into someone else's perspective. Maybe your instinct is to solve, argue, or dismiss instead of listening. Low EQ people often interpret other people's emotions through their own lens, missing the nuance of what the other person is actually experiencing. High EQ involves curiosity and attunement, noticing how someone feels, acknowledging it, and responding in a way that respects that experience. Here's a quick self-check. If you recognize 5 or more of these patterns in yourself, your EQ almost certainly has room for growth. Low emotional intelligence isn't a life sentence, it's a learning opportunity. Like I say over and over in these videos, awareness is step 1. Step 2 is practice. Pause before reacting. Name your emotions. Observe rather than assume. Listen actively and navigate boundaries mindfully. The more you notice your patterns, the more choice you have in how to respond. And the better your relationships, self-awareness, and emotional resilience becomes. Bottom line, you'll feel more in control of your own life. Do any of these 7 signs resonate with you? Which ones have been most difficult to overcome? Let me know in the comments. Dear future therapist, I'm Gabriella. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next session.